This is the 80s Guide to Spiritual Awakening. I'm your host Walter, and this episode is about manifestation. Manifestation is one of those words in the spiritual community that is used and overused. Everyone heard about it in one form or the other, from the law of attraction to have a positive attitude in order to get what you want. So I would like to narrow a little bit the discussion in this episode to purely a 3D or real life or non-spiritual way of looking at what actually the spiritual people say about manifestation is helpful in everyday life. So what is the idea of manifestation in the spiritual community? The idea is that if the universe is mental, then and we have free will, then we actually create our own reality with our thoughts. It means that for the law of attraction or other similar topics, imagining where you want to be, feeling as if you would be already there, feeling how it is to be there, and not starting from inner feelings like, oh, I will never get there, or oh, I will be happy when I will be there, which are all fear-based, but starting from visualizing and imagining and detailing where you want to be will actually create in the world that new state, and you will live the experience that you want. Now, without the spiritual dimension or the idea that we live in a multiverse that is controlled by thought, this can seem like completely stupid magic. And actually, is it really so? Because how do you get any project or any change in your life started? Well, you imagine where you want to be. And if you want to be able to take the appropriate steps to get there, then it's not a good idea to start from a fear-based position, or a lack-based or a need-based, because if you are needy or if you are afraid, then you will be scared at each step of the road, or at the other extreme, be so stuck to your plan that you will never change anything, even when reality doesn't work as you expected it. So building in our mind the level of flexibility needed to be able to create something for ourselves in this world is actually relying on exactly the same thing as the law of attraction or the manifestation in the spiritual sense of the word are advising. If you want to know a little bit more about some real deep, what we could call woo or spiritual description of manifestation, I will link in the show notes a video of the Alchemist, who is a woman explaining extremely well this topic, and you can see how it matches my more let's say limited and psychological approach to this topic. Why do I want to limit myself to the psychological aspect of it? Because the whole season 1 of this podcast is dedicated to the psychological aspect of spirituality, and I don't want to enter right now into more let's say hypothetical or other ideas that could distract us from the psychology of spirituality. Before digging a little bit into the steps of manifestations as the spiritual people believe it works, I first want to look at how the ridiculous side of this thing is expressed in various videos and other things. So first of all, drawing a vision board of what you want and not doing anything about it will not help you reach any project, whether the 12D level of the universe, of the holographic universe, exists or not. The first idea of manifestation is that your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions must be aligned. So basically, let's say that I want to, I don't know, own a nice car in 5 years' time, but I don't have the means to get there. Putting pictures of the nice car on a vision board and just looking at them every day with a positive attitude will not get you anywhere, because first of all, money doesn't come out of etheric space. It's something that you need in order to buy a car. And second, because if you only stare at that thing, you will waste a lot of time and not do anything. So it is important to visualize where you want to be in the future, but it's also important to look at what are the steps that you can take today that bring you a bit closer to that future. Now, on the other side, having a detailed plan across the 5 years that will day by day explain or tell you what to do in order to get to the goal will also not work, because as we maybe saw in the last 3 years, things change in the world, and your detailed plan has a high chance of exploding in flight. So flexibility and seizing opportunities and changing your course in order to reach your goal, or even changing your goal if you suddenly decide that that's not where you want to be, are also needed in this reality to get anything done. So visualize your end result, feel as if you would already get it, because when you do that, you actually look into the details of what it means. I will have a car, and what will I do with this car? Go to shopping and come back. Why do you need a nice car for that? Impress girls? You sure that that's the way you want to get a partner? I don't know, show off to your colleagues? Why are you exactly needing to boost your self-confidence with a nice car? So it is important to feel the end result and see what it will be when we will have reached the goal of our project, because maybe we'll find out during that exercise that's actually not at all what we need, and that actually working on ourselves and on our needy or fear-based energy is much more important than getting a car. But even if we know that this car is what we need, because, I don't know, we have a business plan that relies, a broader business plan that relies on getting a car, because, I don't know, in the circles we will be evolving, the car is a sign of wealth or whatever. So there could be good reasons to want that. So visualizing it, feeling it, looking into the details of what it will mean to us, will help us understand better and feel better what we want to achieve. Now, on top of allowing a kind of analysis of the end result, it also gives us a positive outlook. So we imagine the thing and then, hey, this is motivating, this is exciting. Oh, maybe this part I'm a little bit afraid of. Why am I afraid of it? Maybe I could adapt a little bit the plan. So thinking every day about the end result, living it as if it would already be here, is a good idea from a psychological perspective to make it a priority and feel that it is something that is driving the next 5 years of your existence. Now, on the other side of the project, which is now, maybe you don't have any means. So it's also a good idea to start thinking, okay, maybe on top of my normal job, I need a side hustle, like having a podcast about atheist and spiritual awakening. Okay, that's my personal attempt at looking a bit how to expand my horizon. It doesn't have a real business idea behind it right now, but I feel it's right. It's fun to do. I like talking, and I got quite some interesting feedbacks in it, about it, that people see some value, so I'm continuing it. So at the other side of your project, which is now, you need to start devising steps and thinking about ideas on how to get to this end result. For that, we could rely on another topic that is very dear to spiritual people, which are synchronicities. So what are synchronicities? Synchronicities are a repetition of something, usually numbers or images or things like that, that suddenly attract your attention in the real world. So for instance, you see very often the number 444 appearing, and the number 444 is somewhere subconsciously in your mind associated with what the angel number 444 is supposed to represent, which is that you're on the right path, keep going. So synchronicities are things that resonate between the outside world and your inner world. Now, they might or might not be signs of the universe or of your future self or of your angels and guides about what you should do, but they might also simply be something that triggers your subconscious and conscious mind in order to explore new ideas. Because we have two ways of living. Either we are stuck in our loops of thinking and thinking about the new things, about the old patterns that we are worrying about or that we are craving for, or we try to be a little bit more relaxed, look outside, and suddenly something gives us an idea. Oh, this tree looks like I don't know what else that I thought about yesterday. That means that maybe, oh, this gives me an idea. Oh, yes, I could do horticulture. Whatever. Stupid idea, maybe. But triggering our imagination by observing the outside world, which is full of patterns that can be reflected in our inner world, is actually a way of creating new ideas that can lead you closer to your end result. So, in your daily life, pay attention to what is outside of you. Don't spend your time on your phone debating stupid things with people on the internet, because it's very rare that a stupid debate will lead to a good idea. So instead of that, go have a walk, look around you if that's what you like doing, or open a book, read it, see what's resonate, and whether it's a synchronicity or just something that gives you an idea, doesn't matter. You need to get from here to your 5-year plan, and every day taking a step towards it is a much more probable way of reaching the end result than not doing it. So pay attention, work on your imagination, consider the world as your source of inspiration, diversify your horizons. Is all good ideas in order to make something difficult to reach more attainable. Now, the other thing that the folks of manifestation, and you can see that in the video I'm linking in the show notes, talk about, is that it's mostly your subconscious that is manifesting reality. Now, what would it mean without the spiritual layer? Well, if your subconscious tells you that whatever your plan is actually bad, or you're not deserving it, or it's not worth it, or it's way too difficult, then you will try to take the steps to reach your result, but your subconscious will block you and prevent you from doing the right work to actually achieve it. There will be always an excuse. There will be always something important to do. There will be always an obligation. There will be always an I'm too tired, because when your subconscious is sabotaging your goals, then your conscious mind follows, even if it's not conscious, about what the subconscious is sabotaging. So that's another perspective on why it's important to regularly check in with your end results and what you want to reach, because that builds up this more positive, more creation-oriented energy in you instead of a fear-based, need-based, lack-based thing that will hold you back. Without energy, we can't progress, and we are our worst enemy. We sabotage all the time based on our own fears and weaknesses. So let's assume that step by step, in the 3 to 6 months following the start of your project, you reach some results in a side hustle, but then things change. I don't know. We have a new pandemic. Oh my goodness, hopefully not. Or we have something else that changes reality. Now it's a time to reconsider again. Okay, is this new reality still compatible with the end result we want to reach? Well, let's assume it is, but this new reality means that maybe the side hustle we created is absolutely not an option anymore. So being able to reorient and find something else and replan how we reach the end result, which is a nice car, is very important, because, and this is based on personal experience, being stuck in something that doesn't progress and obsessively trying to make it work while all the signs tell you that it is not working can lead you into situations that are not very pleasant. So it also doesn't mean that you need to give up right away when something is not working, because perseverance is important, but if everything tells you that you are failing, then it's maybe time to reconsider a different way of reaching your goals. And this flexibility part is again leading us back to the question of paying attention to our subconscious or to our inner world, because many times when we are compulsively trying to stick to a plan that we made, is because we are afraid that the plan will fail, and we don't trust ourselves to be able to course correct, to find another angle on how to reach the end result. So this goes back to our programming, this goes back to our trauma, this goes back to how we are aware and meditative and observing our own thoughts and feelings. It's linking everything together. Daily life is a form of meditation. Daily life, if it's a form of meditation, will become much more conscious, much less automatic, much less blocked by our own struggles and our own pre-existing fears and wounds and traumas and programming. So quite literally, we are actually manifesting all the lessons we need to have in order to heal. How does that happen again without some magic or some special effect caused by the divine or whatever else? Well, when we are afraid of something, then we react in a negative way when we meet that something, which means that we will systematically sabotage the experience or the relation or the interaction we have until we learn not to do that anymore, until we dig in a little bit into our own mind and find a way of knowing, okay, this fear was justified because of this, but it's taking way too much space in my mind, and I am sabotaging my reality by letting it act out. So what is the more adult version of this habit, and how can I still be careful but not be that afraid? So we are not only manifesting our projects, but we are also manifesting our lessons, and we are manifesting our own experience. At the end of the day, where I completely agree with the spiritual people, is that we are the ones that are creating our own experience of this world. Whether it's from the angle that we look at the things happening to us, or from the angle of creating negative things or positive things happening to us through our own reaction to other people or to external events. from this perspective, we can actually quite literally say that we are attracting, like in the law of attraction, we are attracting whatever we subconsciously think about or subconsciously feel. We are attracting the bad, we are attracting the good, because we react in a certain way that is driven by this unconscious, instead of reacting from a place of trust, of love, of curiosity, of positive energy, of non-fear-based energy. So yes, we create our own pain, and the others are only, let's say, tools that we attract to create that pain. No one forces us to stay in that relationship that is toxic. No one forces us to engage with people that are not meant for us, and we know it right from the beginning, but we still give it a try. Nothing forces us to continue for 10 years working on something that doesn't work. We are responsible for ourselves, and once we take responsibility for our own feelings, and once we know how to manage them and watch them and analyze them and reprogram them, as well as our thoughts, then we start creating more positive results. It doesn't mean that we will never have pain anymore, but it means that we will have the experience of pain, let it go, move on, change direction, adapt, and become a flexible surfer on reality, instead of being an obsessive, I don't know what is a good analogy, an obsessive builder of a reality that will never exist because we don't know how to do it. A final note on this episode about manifestation. Being honest with ourselves is also a good way to succeed in this life. So lying to ourselves because out of a place of fear, or not defending our own moral values that we really believe in, but have a weakness that prevents us from really embodying and living true, is a bad idea, because whenever we break our own promises to ourselves, which is what moral values, objectives, ethics, or whatever you define for yourself as good things, whenever we break these promises we make to ourselves, we start trusting ourselves less, and not trusting yourself is a sure way to kill your energy, not be able to move, and not reach your desired goals. Thanks a lot for listening to this episode of the Atheist Guide to Spiritual Awakening that was talking about manifestation and how manifestation could be real in a world without spirit. If you like this episode, please like, subscribe, activate the bell button, and do all the good stuff that you don't miss the next episode, and share with your friends, because helping me is always appreciated.